Was Jesus born on December 25th? Well, we don't know the exact date that Jesus was born, but it's more than likely not December 25th. Here's 3 reasons why. Reason number 1 is the pattern of the shepherds. We know that the shepherds were out in the fields with their flocks. And we know that that could really only occur from mid-spring to mid-autumn when there was no rain, which would place it somewhere between May to October. The second reason is the census. We know that Mary and Joseph had to travel because a census was taken of the entire Roman world. And it wouldn't make sense for the emperor to ask everyone to travel during the rainy season because he wouldn't get the right information and it would mean he'd miss out on taxes. So more than likely this occurred not during the rainy season, which again would place it somewhere between May and October. Now I know this isn't a specific date, but it is a window from May to October when it's more than likely that Jesus was born during that time period. And if you're curious as to how people came to those specific time periods, then head on over to our YouTube channel. And if you're already here, run the intro. Before we get into the video, would you do me a favor and like the video? It helps people like you connect with our content as well. And if you stick around to the video and you're wondering, can we trust the Christmas story? We've got a video on that as well that'll pop up for you to click onto. Now, in Luke chapter 2, verse 8, it says that the shepherds were staying out in their fields watching over their flocks. And the Greek word for that is agroluntes, which actually means staying overnight. Now, because of the weather patterns, and we can know that it would have been too wet any other time of the year for them to stay out in the fields except for May to October. So that's why people have dated it within that range. When it comes to the census, in Luke chapter 2, we're told that while Caesar Augustus was emperor of the Roman Empire and Quirinius was governor of Syria, a decree was issued for the entire Roman Empire to participate in this census. And what that meant was that everyone had to go to their hometown to register. And what that meant was that Mary and Joseph had to go from Nazareth to Bethlehem. Now that journey was about 175 kilometers. And so it would have taken some time. Now in order to traverse this, you would have needed really good conditions. And remember, the Roman emperor wanted as many people to participate in the census as possible because it meant he got more taxes, which meant that putting it in a time period where it was hard to travel would have been detrimental to him, which leads us to believe that it was done again in that window of May to October where it wasn't the rainy season and making that trek would have been very easy. Final piece we're exploring is the pattern of the priests, and there's a lot of names in this, so stick with me. Jesus' cousin was a guy called John the Baptist, and John the Baptist's dad was a priest called Zacharias who served in the priestly division of Abijah. Now, when the Jewish people returned from their captivity under the Babylonians and they came back to the temple, the priests set themselves up in divisions so that they would serve in orders depending on what division of priests they were in. As I said in the intro, Josephus lets us know the priestly division that was serving in AD 70 when the Temple of Jerusalem was destroyed, and it was actually the division of Jehoram. And scholars can date backwards from that to actually try and figure out when it was that Zacharias' division was serving. Pay attention. From Luke's biography, we know that Mary conceived about 6 months after Elizabeth, which would also place Jesus' birth in either March or September. So roughly, we have this window of sometime between May and October when Jesus would have been born, and that's how we got to that conclusion. I know you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the subscribe button, and while you like the video, share it with a friend. Come on.